Welcome back for a Hot Wheels car culture video review. Today I am opening up all of the remaining Hot Wheel car culture car sets that I have to fill in the missing blanks here on the museum walls with the Plano model number 5324 cases. All of the spaces that are empty will be filled very soon with car culture cars, and we are going to open up approximately 30 or so car culture cars from over the last 3 years. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at what's going on the wall before we go in for a closer look at everything for a car culture Hot Wheels review. I recently just ordered a whole bunch of car culture Hot Wheels to fill in my collection, all the loose spaces that were missing cars, and I have every set except for one, which I overlooked on my ordering of cars for this wall. I will be getting that one soon, so it's not a problem. But we are going to get every other space filled, and we're going to look at all of these cars loose out here on the review table for one last look before they go into the Plano cases. Maybe not the last look. Certainly there are other video ideas I have forthcoming, such as like castings, but I wanted to take a look at all of these in the series particular to them before we put them on the wall, because as it turns out, the way I display my Hot Wheels car culture, much like my vintage Hot Wheels of yesteryear, is chronological and by series. So in the past, I've always put my Hot Wheels on the wall based on the year they were produced in order, moving forwards along with any variations. And it's no different for the Hot Wheels car culture cars, as well as the Fast and the Furious cars, but we're talking specifically about Hot Wheels car culture. Fast and the Furious is this case over here, top to bottom. The side of the right wall down is the Hot Wheels Fast and the Furious Premium, and in the center of this wall is the car culture. And there's a lot of cars missing because I have neglected to open a lot of these cars, mainly because I only bought one copy of each back when they were first produced. And that was a mistake, as I now found out, having bought these on the secondary market to open a second copy and keep the first copy on card art for a future museum wall that I have planned, where I will showcase the cars with their card art, as well as being loose. Quite expensive on the secondary market. Regardless, now you get to see these cars being opened up for the first time ever on this channel to be added to the Hot Wheels car culture lineup of exquisite vehicles with high detail, metal base, metal castings, rubber tires, and highly detailed paint jobs and tampa work. And what we are looking at today is Hot Wheels car culture drag strip Demons from 2018. Full 5-car set being opened up. Quite rare vehicles in this collection. Circuit Legends, also from 2018 with a 5-car set. All these are 5-car sets that I have. And we also have 2019 Golf Series cars, 4 of which are still in the package. 1 of these cars was opened up. Silhouettes, also from 2018, and those are going to be removed from the packaging. Street Tuners, already removed from the packaging and ready to go on the wall. 2019 Desert Rally. All these cars are new to the collection wall and will be much appreciated, including that 80 Dodge Macho Power Wagon, as well as Street Boulevard series. Some really iconic cars in here to look at. And finally, also all of the 2023 car culture cars to look at, including the Speed Machines 5-car set being opened up. And Spectacolor. There's 5 cars here. Very cool. Vintage exotic cars as well as rally cars. We also have Canyon Warriors, very cool 5-car set. Some of my favorites of 2023, indeed. A lot of cool new castings. And Modern Classics. 5 more awesome cars. One final series to look at for 2023, and that was Race Day. All these cars being opened up and added to the wall, getting ready for 2024. Highly exotic, realistic looking die-cast cars. That's a whole lot of car culture. Cars opened up and now they are on the display wall. Let's go over and take a look at them now. All right, let's take a look at the Hot Wheels car culture cars now, all opened up here on the wall. They are in their 5-car sets, organized vertically and chronologically. So each of the sets will be all 5 cars together. And I'll explain as we go in for a closer look at each one of these cars and their respective sets. How this is organized, it will make a lot of sense to you. And this is how I keep track of my collection as well. So starting off with the very first Hot Wheels Car Culture Premium Collection in this series, we've got the Japan Historics. I'm not going to go through every name of the car sets. We're just going to look at them as we go here. And in for a nice close look at these cars. I'm just going to see what focus works the best. That's a nice focus right there. Now where the car turns direction, as you can see here, between the Japan Historics Mazda and this Porsche, that means we're into a new 5-car set. This being the second one released. I probably should have pulled all the names of these cars, but you know what? We're just looking at some awesome Hot Wheels today. I'm going to try and keep the shakiness to a minimum, but I am on my knees at times and then standing and holding a camera all out at the same time. So we're into a 3rd set. And now the 4th set. I believe this was open track. No, maybe not. 5th set. So many cool cars to look at. Really long names for these Hot Wheels. I mean, they're kind of obvious as to what casting they are, but a lot of really detailed long names that I won't possibly remember completely. Nor would I even want to try at this point. We've got too many cars to look at. So if you're kind of following along to see what's going on here, each time the cars change directions, you're into a new 5-car set. And now we're at the very top of the cases. We're moving over chronologically down. These are in chronological order. So they are in the correct order that way. And we are just admiring the awesome models that Hot Wheels has given us through the Car Culture Premium series over the last 5 to 6 years. And here they all are for you to see, loose in my museum walls. This is definitely Japan Historics 2 that we're looking at right now. I really do enjoy these JDM cars, especially the metallic paint jobs. The filming here is getting a little smoother, which is going to end in a second because I was at about waist level. Now I'm going down, get down to the lower reaches of the cars. Just look at these things though. Aren't they just gorgeous? You really got to get them when they're new if you want to save money. They're still expensive. Often running me, $8, $9 at the big box stores per car with tax here in Canada. And if I buy them from a really die-cast, if they have them, if I can get to them in time, those are 2 big ifs, then they are $15 each Canadian, taxes in. Secondary market, eBay, kind of the same price, $15 each if I get them when they're newly released. And they go up from there once they become more scarce. There will come a day when collectors are going to start to unload. Hold on a second. I'll continue that thought in a second here. We've got 5 empty spaces where those cars are en route from. Then we're into the silhouettes. Yeah, there will come a day when collectors will start to unload these cars. Aging population, hoarding, over-collecting, speculating, that will all come to rear its ugly head on the value of Hot Wheels in the long run. And also just generic interests, general interests. Will automobiles always be of interest? Are they of interest to the youth of today? Will they hold the same interest levels as they did for my generation and generations before? Probably not in the short term, I don't think. Maybe in the long term, it'll come back around. And the one awesome thing about collecting die-cast Hot Wheels, anything small, is it's a very approachable hobby. Something that anyone can kind of partake in if they have a little bit of disposable income, some interest in a very vast community of automotive directions, whether that be toys of those actual cars, the history of the cars, movie cars, what you see on your streets, what you remember, what maybe you purchased yourself at one point in life, on television, watching racing. Regardless, very approachable hobby. Doesn't take up very much space for the most part. Most collectors don't need to fill a basement full of cars to enjoy the hobby. A simple wall display, a shelf display will do. Keeping the hobby limited to what you really want to collect, whether that be a certain model, elements of a certain brand. Like, I don't collect everything Hot Wheels. I was trying to years back, but I realized that was futile, and I have since given up. So I basically just kind of collect what I can find easily in the stores, and then there's stuff like this car culture stuff that I will go out of my way to collect because I am a bit of a completionist, and my completing is to get all of the car culture cars in Hot Wheels so that I can share them with you guys here so that you don't have to, potentially. And also, if you do, so that we can just share in that hobby element and enjoy it together. But really just looking at a lot of cool vehicles. I love cars. I love trucks. Always have since a very, very young age. And I got bitten by the bug, so to speak. So whatever you do, enjoy it. Don't stress. There's a chase car. I don't stress about chase cars. There's the original. And I certainly don't feed into the scalping of those, if you want to call it that. I don't go about buying them on the secondary market. If I get one in the box, if I get a sealed box from a reputable, legitimate seller of Hot Wheels cars on eBay or wherever, and there's a chase car, great. I'll often open it up. I don't usually, but I'm not reselling them. They're just part of the collection. So we are still looking at car culture. Can you imagine all these cars released over the years? Well, it's going strong. We're going to see a lot more. So if you missed out on any of these, worry not. There will be plenty more beautiful examples. There's Jay Leno's turbine car. And re-releases are quite common too. popular castings make it back into production, maybe with a different paint job, like that little Volvo that we saw just a little while back, that 300ZX as well. The Subaru, Mazda. They do come around. You might not get every color for a reasonable price, but there is just so much to collect. You don't need every color. That could get boring, in fact. Well, we're almost at the end here. As you can see, there's another Volvo. I really like that casting a lot. We are into the final car culture cars of 2023. And I am currently awaiting my 5-car set, first wave of 2024. It's in the mail. I don't know that I'll review it immediately on this channel. There's lots of other YouTubers doing that sort of stuff, but I'll definitely put my take of the collection into play at some point. My flavor on collecting. So if we stand back, that's basically what we just looked at, was all those cars there. And like I said, to the right is Fast and the Furious Premium. So we're going to look at that in a separate video close up. And to the left is Boulevard Premium. It's kind of a narrow band of cars. That's the new stuff. I have very little of the original Boulevard from 2012 to 2013, I think. Don't have much of that opened up right now. And then we will also go on probably to look at all of the other just random premium cars I have opened up, naming the different series where they came from. Again, probably not going to be naming each and every car. It just takes up too much time. I did do that, of course, in my year-by-year videos, so if you're interested in vintage stuff, I really got a good grip on learning about all of the vintage Hot Wheels cars, their names, the castings, when they were first released, variations and all that stuff. That was really my passion. Still is, of course, and here they are on the display walls where they will remain. This is a nearly complete collection that I started with 1974 and continued it right up to present day pretty well. But I stopped looking to get every single car because it was just too difficult. This was difficult in itself and took me close to a decade to get all of these cars and tens of thousands of dollars, not to mention tens of thousands of hours searching on eBay to find them all in an acceptable condition for my collection. And if you're interested to know, my collection didn't start out like this. I started out very much like any other collector. I had a lot of chipped up, random cars, very few rare ones. And it was only because I really went crazy with the passion of collecting that I upgraded that collection. But these are the original cars. Of course, I've got a lot of duplicates now over the years. These are the original ones that were on my display walls all around the museum. And as you can see, they are not in the best of condition. But I have a very big soft spot in my heart for those cars. And I do enjoy getting them out for a review every once in a while. And certainly a play, setting them up as junkyard cars. And even just sitting down and looking at them and just marveling at the playware on them is fun. And they would be nice to be displayed as well if I had more room. And in the future museum, I'm going to have a play-worn section for much-loved cars of yesteryear. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. We've got plenty more coming, so stay tuned. And of course, as always, happy hunting.